Today I'm craving sushi, so let's head out on the boat and see what we can find to make a delicious dinner. As soon as I jumped in the water, I loaded up my spear gun, and then it was time to go search for dinner. This first spot is about 65 feet of water, so today I'm going to be using a throw flasher, which is just a PVC pipe covered with reflective tape that looks like a struggling fish floating down to the bottom. Personally, I like to keep an eye on the throw flasher, and once it starts to get close to the bottom and I see some fish checking it out, I take a deep breath and head down to see if any of those fish are good ones to bring home for dinner. One of my favorite fish to bring home for sushi here in South Florida is called the Cero mackerel, and this one came in to check out the flasher, so I was careful to go down slowly in order not to scare it and then hopefully line up and take the perfect shot. These fish make great sushi because not only are they delicious, but they also are a soft-bodied fish that just melts in your mouth. But when spearfishing for them, you have to take a really good shot, otherwise they'll pull off the spear. Even though it wasn't perfect, luckily my shot managed to hold, so just like that, we have our first part of dinner secured. After adding the mackerel to the cooler, I decided to dive a little bit more shallow, so we headed into about 15 to 20 feet of water where I came across some Florida spiny lobster. So I went ahead and grabbed my lobster lasso, placed it around its tail, and then pulled it tightly closed, and just like that, we have our first lobster of the day. Here in Florida, you're allowed 6 lobsters per person per day as long as they're big enough, so I went ahead and repeated the same process until we had enough for dinner. Back at the dock, I quickly went ahead and filleted the mackerel and then cleaned all of the lobsters, and now we're ready to head back inside and start to make dinner. Tonight, I'm going to be making tempura lobster sushi rolls topped with Cero mackerel. First, I started by cutting down the bottom side of each one of the lobster tails and removing all the meat from the inside. After that, I went ahead and tried to cut the lobster tails so that they would be the perfect size to fit right inside of our sushi rolls. After that, I made a quick and easy tempura batter, went ahead and lightly coated the lobster with some flour, dipped it into the batter, and then into some hot oil it went until it was a nice crispy golden brown. While I waited for that to cook, I also boiled the shells because I decided that they would look pretty cool for the presentation tonight. Once the lobster was done cooking, I cut it into strips so that it would be easier to add to the sushi roll, and then added avocado and asparagus, rolled it up tight, and gave it a nice press with the bamboo mat. After that was done, I topped it with some fresh Cero mackerel and then went ahead and sliced it up, and there we have it, our delicious sushi roll. And just like that, a little while later, dinner is served. It really doesn't get any more fresh than that. Now I'm gonna enjoy my dinner, and until next time, get outside and see what you can find.